Hey guys, Sarah Pacaro. I wanted to share this video in regards to hope. I recently shared a post and it said, stop hanging on to the idea of hope. You've got to create, you've got to become if you want things to be different. Hope is not necessarily bad, right? Because hope is the beginning of the implementation and awareness process that something as it is now needs to change or desires to change and determines destined desires to be different. But that hope alone will not create that change that you long for and you desire. And so often, so many people only hold on to just that, only hold on to the hope. They only hold on to the hope that the next partner, the next relationship, the next job, the next whatever will be different from the one that they have now, the one that they have now that's causing so much internal conflict, struggle, and emotional pain and anguish. So they only hold on to the hope that the next one will be different. So they let go of this one, but hold on to the hope that that one will be much better. But that's all that they're holding on to is hope. Sometimes they just hold on to the hope that that person that's causing that anguish, the anxiety, the conflict, the struggle, the arguing, the manipulation will change, will get better. They hold on to hope and they stay in that toxic environment for far too long, holding on to the hope that that person will change, that person will get help, that that person will get better. And if that's the case, then they will get better. And by doing so, they're only holding on to that hope. Holding on to hope alone does not change you, does not get you what you want, does not get you what you need, does not get you what you desire. You're just holding on to this hope. And someone had posted in the comments that hopium is hopium is the most toxic drug there is. And that made me laugh. It made me laugh out loud because when you've been in a relationship that's emotionally unavailable, that's emotionally immature, that you're constantly being projected onto, and you're trying to get out of it, and you're holding on to the hope that it'll be different with the next one, or that they'll change, or that they'll get better, it can feel like that environment and that relationship becomes highly addictive, that it becomes like a drug. And that's why that comment made me laugh, that hopium is the most toxic drug there is. It's so true. It does feel like a drug when you're only holding on to that hope, because you're holding on to it and not getting anything different. So you're getting the highs and the lows, you're getting the crash and the burnout, and you're getting that maybe and then you're getting the disappointment, you're getting the anxiety, you're getting the anguish, you're getting the depression, you're getting the suppression, you're getting the numbness from always holding on to just that hope. Most people in a toxic environment or relationship will hold on to the hope that if they stay, that it'll be worth it and it'll get better over time. But if nothing changes, nothing changes. And if you're only holding on to hope, nothing is going to change. Where's the motivation if that's all you're holding on to? And there's no accountability. There's no difference in action, choices, behaviors, consequences. There's no difference in the boundaries that are set and the follow-up from having those boundaries crossed or broken, because you're just holding on to hope that they'll get it, that someday if I just stay and if I just be kind, loving, and patient, it'll click, and then they'll stop treating me that way. And it'll just get better over time. So remember, hopium is the most toxic drug there is, where you hope that someday that they will be the ones to leave, that they will move on, so that you don't have to go through the heartache or the heartbreak of being the one to actually take accountability in your life and be a part of the change that you're trying to create. So if you're holding on to hope, I said in that post, it's a slippery rope. You're going to slip, you're going to fall, you're going to get hurt. If that's the only rope you're holding on to is the hope of rope, because it's slippery and that's a long fall. And you probably feel like you're already in the hole, that you've already fallen down and you don't know how to get up and how to get out of it because you're only holding on to the rope of hope. Well, Hopium is the most toxic drug there is. Someone went on to comment to say, to refine the point, have hope in yourself and not external sources. Here's the problem. Yes, you can hope and have hope in yourself, but that's almost like trying to make a cake with one ingredient, and the only ingredient is hope. If you're trying to make a cake with one ingredient, your cake is going to suck. It's not going to come out the way that you hoped it would. It takes many ingredients. It takes many different things. It takes time to process. But if you've ever made a cake and you have forgotten one of the important ingredients, let's say baking powder, baking soda, or eggs, or whatever it is, if you forget a crucial ingredient, but you just hope that you're going to throw in there what you have and it's going to turn out okay and it's going to be incredible, amazing, and delicious, maybe even better than you thought. And then next time you're going to be lazy and not even need to go to the store to get all the ingredients. You're just going to every time throw it in there and hope, and then be disappointed that it didn't work, that it didn't come out that way. So hope is not the only thing that you need. Yes, you need hope internally, but there's more to it than just that. So I hope that this video resonates with you and really connects with you with understanding hope is not a bad thing, but if it's the only thing you're holding on to and expecting things to change, you're going to be let down. You're going to feel disappointed. You're going to feel frustrated and stuck and overwhelmed, because hope is a slippery rope. And you may feel that you're slowly sinking, and it feels like you're in quicksand and it's coming up to here and you don't have much longer because you can't breathe and you feel like you're suffocating. You feel exhausted from trying to get out of that quicksand because all you've been holding on to is the rope of slippery hope. So it takes more than that to get out. It takes more than that to have a life that's different. It takes more than that to truly get the change that you deserve and desire. It takes more ingredients, right? You can't just make a cake with one egg. You're just going to have scrambled eggs or hard-boiled eggs. You're not going to be able to take that one ingredient and turn it into a cake, as a metaphor. So it takes really having all the components, all the ingredients. And as you know, there's so many ways to make a cake. So there's no one right way, but it does take more than just one ingredient. And that's hope in this case, that things will be different and change. It takes action. It takes attention. It takes time. It takes effort. But more than that, the way that I work with people is we get to the unconscious programming, the core, the root of all of this. Let's call it the most important ingredient. And I can't tell you what it is. And oftentimes so many people say, what's your advice? My advice is to reprogram your inner mind. My advice is to get to the core and the root of what it is for you. You may have similar stories. You may have similar past experiences. You may have similar narcissistic relationships, or parents who were emotionally unavailable or abusive, or parents who were alcoholics. And there is no one size fits all advice that's going to work for everyone. But my advice to everyone is to get to the core and get to the root of it is of what it is for you, how it's impacting you and your life and your unconscious mind, your internal dialogue and belief system, and your internal foundation. And the way that that looks and feels and expresses for you is going to be different than anyone else that you speak to or connect with or talk to, because only you know what it's like to live in your body. Only you know what it's like to live your life. Only you know your true core inner thoughts. So my advice is always get to the core and the root of it. Use your mind. Use the power of your own mind to transform your life. There's not one magical book out there that's going to do it for you after reading it, after doing the exercises and worksheets that go along with it. If that were true, there wouldn't need to be the need for so many others, right? Everyone would just read that one, but we're all vastly different. So doing the inner work has to be your inner work and can't just be hope and wishes and dreams. It's part of it. It's part of the ingredients, but it's not all of it. So the one magical ingredient that you're missing, if you've tried all those other things, is because you haven't added that ingredient yet. And then that's in your unconscious mind, doing the inner work, doing the inner transformational work to change and transform that inner programming that only you know how it's showing up and affecting and influencing you today. So if you're holding on to just hope, you more than likely feel like you're struggling to keep your head above water, that you're still, maybe making some changes in progress, but still internally you go back to that because that's the missing piece you haven't connected with yet. So I would love to talk to you about transformational healing if that's where you're at and you're tired of holding on to hope and just wishing that someday it'll be different, and realizing that it's not going to be unless you truly find that inner click, connection, awareness, and aha-ness. Whatever term you want to use, openness, enlightenment. There's so many different terms for it, but that's just what I wanted to share with you today. When you're ready to begin that journey of transformation, of true inner transformation, unconscious reprogramming of your inner mind, then I'd love to connect with you. Okay. Until then, know that hope is an ingredient, but it's not the only one. And it's not the one that if you hold on to, you can expect anything to change, because hope is hope. And it's hopium. Sometimes the most toxic drug there is, but because it keeps you in that place, just passively sitting, waiting for something to be different and for things to change. And if that's all you're holding on to in the place that you're sitting, you're going to be sitting there a very long time while you feel like everyone else is passing you by. So let's connect if you're ready for true transformation and change. Okay. All right. Bye for now.